another video. If you're new to our channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and go check out our Instagram pages where I post daily original photos of our life and a lot of our animals in our collection. For today's video, as promised, I'm gonna show you step by step how we are giving our blood python Callisto her antibiotic injections. Now, before we jump into this, a little disclaimer that this is my own experience. I am not a licensed veterinarian or even a vet tech, but this is our own experience that I wanted to share with our viewers, hoping that this will give some insight or maybe help you in your journey in getting your snake or other reptile healthy with having to give injectable antibiotics. It can be a little bit frustrating at times, but it's something that has to be done in order to get this snake healthy. There was no way around it. We tried every other option. This was our last resort, and it is working. I am glad that it is working. We have already seen a dramatic improvement in the phlegm around her mouth or the secretions. They have drastically decreased. Her breathing is improving day by day, and her attitude has changed dramatically. She is a feisty thing, and she is not happy with us at all. I've already gotten bit once, so today should be really interesting. Now, every snake or other reptile is going to react differently to getting injected with antibiotics. I've seen some other videos on YouTube with ball pythons specifically, where they may be restrained, but they're not trying to bite. They're not as feisty. I'm gonna tell you right now, our blood python, she absolutely hates this. She hates being grabbed, she hates being poked, and it's pretty hard. There's no way that one person would be able to do this on their own. When I do it, I either have my husband or my oldest son helping restrain her. We do this over a towel, and I'll show you some of the other supplies that we have obtained and used in order to get the job done. She does pee, poop, spit urates everywhere. Yes, most days it is a complete disaster and she makes a complete mess. But at the end of the day, we get the job done and the injectable antibiotics are working. All right, so to start, her antibiotics that she is taking are enrofloxacin. She is taking 10 milligrams per milliliter. Her species and her body weight, the degree of her respiratory infection, our veterinarian prescribed her 0.2 milliliters every 48 hours. All right, so now I'm gonna show you all the supplies that we use to get these injectable antibiotics into our girl to get her healthy. So we have the medication. We have a 1 milliliter syringe because we are only gonna do 0.2, and these are pre-sterilized, all ready to go. We also have some alcohol, and I'll show you what we're gonna use that for in a second. I have a single paper towel that I've ripped in two. We have some F10 disinfectant to clean up afterwards. We have just a regular beach towel or whatever towel you want to use to put them on because our snake will pee and defecate. We try to keep it in the towel to minimize mess. We have a snake hook to try to control her body and movements as much as possible when getting her out and putting her back. And then I picked up this plastic braided tube from Home Depot. It is 24 inches, and I got this in the plumbing department for about $8. It's a 2-inch in diameter, the interior. And after the first 2 times of doing it without this, we decided to go pick this up, and this has made a world of difference in getting her injections done. It provides a safe place. She will crawl in this to about here, and then I will hold her body, which you will see soon, and my son will hold the back end, and we'll get her injection done with minimal possible injuries to myself, my son, or the snake itself. So those are all the supplies we're gonna be using. All right, so now that we have all of our supplies, now we're gonna get this all drawn up into this so we can get ready to give it to her. So first things first, we're gonna get this out. Now, with these, If you've touched this at all, that's what one of these paper towels is for. We're gonna use our alcohol. Put a little bit on here. And we are gonna clean the top of this where our sterile needle is gonna go. Just clean the top of it real quick. Now we have our pre-sterilized needle. Okay, we're gonna draw this up to 0.2, like that. And with vials, they are typically pressurized inside, so you have to draw it up, and you have to push the same amount of air into the vial that you are going to withdraw in fluid. So we push the air in, and now we are going to tip it upside down, and we are gonna withdraw the fluid. Now, sometimes there will be an air bubble. So just a little tip, draw past the point of the fluid in which you want, and then slowly push it back up, and that'll push the air bubble back out. You do not want any air bubbles whatsoever in this. This is gonna be going into your animal underneath the skin. Air bubbles are a very bad thing. So now we've got exactly our 0.2. We are going to put the cap back on until it is ready for use. And that is ready to go. Now we are gonna prep the rest of our supplies. We're gonna take this other paper towel. We're gonna add a little bit of alcohol, and this is gonna be to clean the site where we're gonna inject her with antibiotics. And so what I do is I have a clean surface over here. We're gonna set that right there with our injection, so it's all ready to go. Now, another thing I wanna mention is I always keep little cards that records their feedings, when I got them, their possible date of birth, species, and then on the back for her, I have her shed. When I gave her respiratory treatments, I keep track of her poop, urates and pee, I've weighed her, and then down here, I keep track of her medication injections, and that is to make sure I'm doing it every other day and then rotate on which side of the spine I have given it. So that way I ensure I'm not giving it in the same spot twice. And this isn't always a good idea to have anyways, whether your snake is sick or not. But if they are sick, it is very important to keep record of all these things. Snakes don't shed regularly. Blood pythons don't poop every week sometimes. Sometimes they may only poop once a month. So it is always a good idea to record poops and pee, especially when they are sick, to make sure they are getting hydrated and they are processing and digesting everything as they should. So if you don't do this already, whether you have one snake or 100 snakes, it's always a good idea to keep record of these things if they are sick or if they don't poop or pee on a regular basis. All right, we've got our workstation all set up and ready to go. And now I'm gonna go get my son. We are gonna get her out and get this injection done. So up, Pop Mama? am back in her cage. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little bit of a bubble still right there. She's mad at us. Sorry. All right, another successful treatment completed. I hate doing this. Out of all the reptile keeping, everything I've ever done, being bitten, giving these injections is the thing that I hate the most. But it's gotta get done, so it's one of those things I just gotta suck it up and do it. First things first, your sharps, your needle. After you are done with it, I put it back in the packaging, and then I keep all of my used needles in a baggie up in my cupboard, and when we are all done with the treatments, I can take them back down to my vet for proper disposal. Never throw sharps in the trash, ever. There are a ton of medical places where you can go drop them off for a small fee or for free. A lot of times if you're doing stuff for your reptiles or for other pets, you can just take them back to your vet and they will dispose of them for you. So never ever throw sharps in the trash. It's dangerous, and sometimes those needles can end up in the wrong hands. We don't want none of that. So real quick, let's go over the procedure itself. We had everything set up, as you saw, and then I took her out. She is already angry. Now, she's not trying to strike or anything, so I just kind of let her run through my hands a little bit, get comfortable, but as you can see, she wants to retreat to a safe place. She either wants to go back in her bin, go underneath it. So what I do with that clear tube, as you saw in the video, is I cover it up so it looks like an escape hole. And as you saw, after trying to point her towards it a few times, she eventually goes right into it. And as soon as she's in about 5 inches or so, then I just clamp my hand around her so she stays in the tube. And luckily, I'm sorry you didn't get to see her poop and pee all over us. Today was a really, really good day. She went right into the tube. We were able to grab her. My son, restrained the back end, and we were able to get the injection done fairly quickly. There has been other days where she is a little more resistive. Sometimes her body will get free from my son and she will just start pooping and peeing and it will flail everywhere. It's really disgusting and creates a big mess. Today was a really, really good day and I'm thankful. And for what you couldn't see in the footage, after we're done, releasing, just like with venomous reptiles, is the most dangerous part. You've been restraining that animal, you've poked them, you've hurt them, and they are severely pissed off. So putting her away is not as gentle as I would like. What we do is we try to get her body in there as much as possible before I quickly take the tube away and just leave her. So sometimes it does look like we kind of throw them in there. That's not our intention. We try to put them back in their enclosure as safely as possible. But as I said, she is severely pissed off. We don't want to have her bite us because if you don't know, biting not only hurts us as the human, but it can also cause them to lose their teeth and cause them injury too. So that's why biting is very much avoided. So she is safe back in her container. I already covered her back up with a blanket to help her lower her stress levels a little bit quicker. If I look at her right now, she's still hissing at me. So by tomorrow, she'll mellow out a little bit. All right, so after we are all done, treatment, putting her back and everything, we immediately wash our hands. Bacterial infections are very, very contagious among reptile collections. So it is very, very important that you go immediately wash your hands before touching anything else. Everything that I have touched, used in order to do her injection, the tube, the towel that she was on immediately gets washed. Everything else, snake hook, I use the F10 disinfectant to disinfect our snake hook, the tube, and anything that we have touched. So that is very, very important when you're done to make sure that you clean and disinfect everything that you've used so you don't accidentally touch those surfaces and then go and handle anything else in your collection. So I hope I have covered everything. If I maybe missed something or you have a question, please drop a comment down in the description below and I will answer you to the best of my ability and as quickly as possible. But I hope seeing us do the injections maybe encourages you, if you have a sick animal or a sick snake, to maybe go for the injectables and not necessarily the oral. The oral, as I said, is not as effective as the injectables, which is why the injectables are encouraged and offered from the vet. So again, I hope this video was helpful and informational. Thank you again for watching. Stay safe, stay sane, get out there and make your own footprints. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.